I think Hizmet movement is the first Islamic movement that has been trying to spread education globally, not just in Muslim countries, but all over the world. And I think it has been very successful. My name is Mohammad Elahee. I'm a professor of international business at Quinnipiac University, which is in Hamden, Connecticut. Actually, Hizmet movement has made so many contributions in so many different areas. It is difficult to just identify one area where Hizmet's contribution is more important than others. But still, if I have to choose one area, I would choose education. The very first verse that was revealed to our Prophet Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that starts with the word read. Read in the name of the Lord who has created you. But unfortunately, a large number of Muslim people, they are not literate. Even those who are literate, they have moved away from the culture of learning that Islam propagated for 1300 years. We have fallen behind in terms of education, science, technology. We have fallen behind other communities. So it is very important that we somehow rejuvenate, we somehow recreate that culture of learning. So I think of all the things that Hizmet movement is doing, their work toward educating people is perhaps their greatest contribution to the renaissance of Islam. As a Muslim, sometimes I feel very disappointed that people from other religions such as Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, they are doing so much for educating people. There are so many Catholic schools, Jesuit schools. In fact, I'm a product of a Catholic school. In the USA, if you look around, there are so many Catholic universities, Notre Dame University, Loyola Marymount universities all over the country. There are so many Jewish universities, but where are the Muslim universities? Jewish people, Christian people, and especially Catholics, they go all over the world to educate others. Why don't we have a Muslim counterpart of Jesuit educational system or Jesuit missionaries? And I think Hizmet movement is the first Islamic movement that has been trying to spread education globally, not just in Muslim countries, but all over the world. And I think it has been very successful. I'm originally from Bangladesh, and I always read in the newspapers that how Bangladeshi students in Turkish school in Bangladesh are doing so well, how they're going to Olympiads in Turkey, how they're participating in math competitions, in science fairs. About 2 weeks ago, I read in the newspaper, one Bangladeshi student achieved the highest math score all over the world. So that makes me feel proud. And the exposure that students are getting thanks to this Turkish school, I think that is transforming their lives. Hizmet movement, as I said before, is doing many good things. It is contributing to many different fields, but their greatest contribution lies in their efforts to educate people all over the world. I met some teachers who are engaged in teaching in different Hizmet-inspired schools. I think one mistake that most religious schools make when they teach, they offer mostly religious curriculum and some general education curriculum. They do not necessarily focus much on science, math, technology. And I think Hizmet movement, one good thing about Hizmet movement is they are actually focusing not just on literature, art, calligraphy or history, rather they are focusing on science, mathematics, technology, and that is what making Hizmet schools better than other schools. So in that respect, I think Hizmet movement is investing investing their efforts, spending their efforts toward the right path. A few minutes ago, I was telling that when I look around in the Muslim countries, sometimes I feel disappointed that Muslims do not have many educational institutions. I also feel disappointed that we do not have any charitable organizations. We don't have any Red Cross. Of course, in some Muslim countries, we have just renamed Red Cross as Red Crescent, but we hardly provide any humanitarian assistance to countries which suffer from natural calamities or disasters. We do not have any equivalent of Doctors Without Borders. And I think Hizmet movement, what they are doing, that is somewhat like an equivalent of Red Cross, the Islamic version of Red Cross, or the Islamic version of Doctors Without Borders. I remember in 2004, in December 2004, when there was a tsunami in Indonesia, all the European countries and the USA, they were sending reliefs worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And Muslim countries, they were mostly silent, even though Indonesia is the largest Muslim country in the world. Is it because Muslim people are not generous? No, that's not the case. Muslim people are generous, but we do not have any institutional framework and institutional infrastructure to provide that support. So we need to build that organizational structure. And fortunately, Hizmet movement, they have also built up some organizational framework to provide assistance for health and humanitarian services. So I felt very proud when 2 years ago I learned that Hizmet movement, they sent doctors to Haiti and some other countries to help the earthquake victims. And I think that Hizmet movement needs to do more to strengthen their humanitarian services. I can also give an example that how humanitarian services changes people's mind. In my country, Bangladesh, there are some remote areas, mountainous areas, and people in those areas in the past, they used to be either animist or Buddhist. But so many Christian missionaries went there and did good work, provided humanitarian service, that now a lot of those people are now Christians. They converted to Christianity. Why? Because they saw that Christian people, they were doing good work. Most of the Muslim people, we talk a lot, but we do not do the good work. We cannot show any example what Muslims people are doing. Now Hizmet, what they are doing, that gives us hope. People like me who felt disappointed at the inaction of Muslim people, that look, Muslims are also capable of providing service. They also reach out to people that others are not serving. It is so sad that in Turkey, from where Hizmet movement originated, that the government is accusing Hizmet movement of creating problems, of being spies of other countries. It is very unfortunate. There is a saying that if you do good work, you earn true enemies and false friends. And I think that is what happened with Hizmet movement in Turkey. Unfortunately, as I was mentioning a few minutes ago, in most Muslim countries, we do not find any movement that provides service to the people, that promotes education, that promotes interfaith dialogue, that helps people in distress. Hizmet movement was filling that gap. But I don't know why Turkish government is perceiving Hizmet as a threat to their political goals. It is something that is completely inexplicable to me. And I think Turkish government is making a big mistake. They should promote Hizmet movement in whatever way they can. But instead of promoting, they're creating barriers for Hizmet movement. I read in the newspaper that many Hizmet-run schools, preparatory schools, have been closed down in Turkey. I read in several newspaper articles how Mr. Fethullah Gulen is being ridiculed in Turkey or accused of promoting other countries' agenda. This is absolutely nonsense. I think people in Turkey who may have some doubts about the benefits of Hizmet movement, they should go and see what Hizmet movement is doing in some other countries. Maybe in Turkey its impact is not felt that much because Turkey is a Muslim country, everybody is Turkish, so they don't understand, they don't realize how Hizmet movement is promoting Turkish culture, Turkish heritage, and at the same time the soft power of Islam. For that they need to talk with non-Muslims and visit Hizmet projects in other countries. Then they'll have a better understanding of what Hizmet is actually trying to do.